what was your thought process while filming/dancing in your video?
Freestyle is very weird for me because I don't do it a lot. Actually, I don't do it ever. So it was a really freeing process in terms of really taking the song and really listening to it, and not even just the words, but the way that he's singing it. It moves you no matter what. There's a little bit of hope, but there's also a little bit of hopelessness. And it comes from a very genuine place. It comes from a place that you don't feel that it should be, but it is. And I think that as a dancer, we use the movement with our bodies to express how we feel inside. That's just kind of natural for us. So it was a very interesting process to take that and really try and express that through my body and through my own experiences. In terms of feeling that hopelessness or that hope. You know, it goes both ways, I feel. So yeah,
Shira, what was your thought process?
Yeah, so overall, I just think that the idea of using art as a political message is really, really valuable and powerful, because I actually don't think that there's a separation between art and politics, and that art is life and like affects life and reflects life as it is. So having an opportunity to use art to make a statement or to put out their one voice out of many really valuable voices was really exciting. I'm trying to grab challenging, because obviously putting a really complex thought process, feelings, situation into movement is really challenging. I guess like there were two main things that I tried to put into it. There's one motion, I'm just going to choreographed, but the one motion is kind of like the hand wringing / washing motion. And with that, I was just mainly thinking like we can't wash our hands of this situation, and that I mean, being like a white person, but also just being any person, by not speaking up, we're being complicit in the system. And so kind of by not speaking up, you are like kind of having like blood on your hands metaphorically, that you just have to speak up. And then the other thing was this idea of the blindfold. And it's kind of hard to tell, but the blindfold was actually made out of newspaper. So, yeah, you can't really see that. But the idea behind that is that it's kind of two different things. One is that the media can be blinding because you have to cut through the noise. I mean, you read so many articles, and it's just like, what happened? But at the end of the day, like, that's not the point. Like, the point is not like the exact details of what happened. The point is the bigger picture, which is that these things are happening all the time. And I think that was reinforced with the Eric Gardner case. That you can say like, oh, what happened? Like, we saw a video. We know what happened this time. And then the second thing is this idea of allow yourself to be blinded even when the answer is right in front of you. So like, you can look at your Facebook newsfeed and see like a million articles. You can just scroll through like a cool dance video. Like, you can just focus on whatever you want to focus on. And so, like when I pulled the blanket off in the video, I was mostly like, you can't be blinded. Like, you have to like look at what's right in front of your face, and also like what's behind the blanket.
That's a very good answer. Wow. Jeez. Leslie, did participating in this artistic protest open your eyes a little more on what's going on in Ferguson and or the world? And so, like, how did you do that for you?
I think, yeah, definitely. It was a long process that we had. So when you started, it was kind of, I wouldn't say in the beginning, but it was, you kind of rode the wave with what was happening, and with it just ending as it did so suddenly, and then this coming to fruition. I think like it was interesting looking at it from an artistic standpoint. You know, like we're seeing what's happening in the media, and we're seeing the protests, and we're, you know, people are actually, you're either walking with it or you're walking through it. But to come at it from a place of what we do already and what's really natural to us and to our bodies and to our ear, it made me look at it in a different way. I think as an artist, I don't really think, or I don't give much stock in terms of what we do people see, in terms of it really making a difference, of it really making a change. But, you know, if it just touches one, if it just touches two, if it just touches three, then that's 1, 2, or 3. You know, and I think being a part of this process kind of showed me, because it touched me in a way as well. So that was nice. That was nice to feel that, and then to hope and to feel like that might happen for others with your video. Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. Shira, how do you feel about your involvement in the protest before hearing of the grand jury's decision?
Yeah, I think that when it comes to kind of different ways of expressing protest, this idea of like an artistic protest in particular, and different channels for sending a message, kind of like what Leslie was saying, like being able to hopefully affect change, even if it's just for a few people, or for a larger audience. I think that honestly, I was just like honored to be able to be a part of it, and to honestly like to be able to have my voice be part of this chorus of people standing up for a really important cause. And I think that there's a lot of talk, especially when it comes to like social media and all of these things, about how people are putting forth their different voices, whether it's through protests or like people looking for policy changes or through art. And I think that art, like I mentioned before, is just a really powerful way to put forth the message.
Definitely. Leslie, in your opinion, how important is it for dancers to get involved in issues such as this?
I think extremely if we have a clear-cut goal. I think that there's a lot of really good intention, but I think that if there's not a clear path for it, it gets kind of muddled. Because it is something that we do all the time, and maybe we don't not take it as seriously, but we don't think that other people take it as seriously as we do. So, yeah, I think it was amazing, and I hope that whoever sees it understands that like it does mean something. What we do does mean something, and if we have that focus of what we do, going towards the right thing and with a clear-cut vision, I think we can definitely affect change. Absolutely. Even if it's just within our circle. Because like I said, it goes from this to this to this. So, you know, it's got to start somewhere. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. So now I kind of want to open the floor up if anybody had any questions for me or any questions for me, period, about any of this stuff. Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How did you choose that song?
The song chose me. Because I don't know, like when I was hearing about what was going on like on my Twitter feed, and then all of a sudden it was like I seen a screenshot of the J. Cole sound. It was from his SoundCloud. And it was like, J. Cole released a response to Ferguson, da-da-da-da-da, it's like awesome. And I was like, I want to hear this. And then so I listened to it, and then I was just like, oh my God, like it's so, not crazy, but it's like so nice to hear people on that level, like give a crap. You know what I mean? Like about anything other than themselves or fame or money or like, you know, all those material things. Like it's nice for them to like come off of that and actually speak about something with substance. Which for J. Cole, it's not really far from his repertoire. Like he does rap about real things as far as like life and everything like that. Like he's not really like your average commercial rapper. Is basically what I'm saying. He's more like down. He's like more down now. Oh my God. more like underground and down to earth. Yeah, so he's more than just like, oh, got my chain on, da 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 da. Yeah, so it's like I feel like for him to release that song, he really like set the bar for not only musical artists but just artists in general to kind of like, if you have something to say about it, you should say something about it. You know what I mean? Like don't just tweet about it.
Did you have other songs to choose from?
No, this is the only song I've heard of that's been released that actually blew up. I mean, somebody probably like more underground than him probably released something, you know, which is no disrespect to them, but it didn't like pop up for me. And like I said, the song chose me. I didn't like really look like songs about, you know, Ferguson. Like I didn't like type it in. It just like popped up, and I was just like, yes, I want that, you know. And then when I heard it, it just like clicked, you know, emotionally, and I could see it visually, like in my mind's eye. So that's why I chose this song. But I'm pretty sure there's tons of songs out there. I'd be surprised if this was the only song. Then damn, we really need to like get our shit together. Yeah.
I'm Robin. I've only been to a couple classes here, but this is a great space and for having us. I was wondering if you could expand a little bit more on, you mentioned on Twitter and Facebook, and I think one critique of especially our generation and when we protest or when we expand is how we get satisfied with an explanation on Facebook. You know, if I posted an article, I'm a revolutionary, you know, I did my part. If somebody you can expand on how you transcend something from a public media or a social media site or a video like this, you know, you take something and make it powerful and can transcend both that site and the screen and can transcend to an action.
Yeah. So wait, sorry, please.
I know that was the wrong one.
Yeah, so
I think you can take something like an artistic protest or a Facebook post or a hashtag and really transcend it to make it an action that can maybe be recognized.
Okay, I think the way that you can transcend those articles is really like this is it's all about being the change that you want to see in the world. Yeah, cool. But really you make things transcend from just like ink and paper by living it and by actually wanting to move it forward. Which is, I feel like what I'm doing here, I feel like that's just the beginning. And I feel like as long as I like have this is like my platform right now. And I feel like with a platform, you can really keep adding on to it. You can keep making it more intricate. You can keep making it more extravagant, and you can add more people into the mix. So I feel like for me to take an article, because I've read tons of articles, and I believe we all have, you know what I mean, on what's going on. There's been an article like every day, every 4 hours. So I feel like by reading that, you take that out into the world, and when you take it out into the world, it becomes more than just like, oh, I've seen that on Facebook. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sorry, I'm kind of like jumping around, but when celebrities like tweet something that's like Twitter activism, like, does it really go beyond retweeting? You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's kind of what you're saying. But if a celebrity is at a concert and they're like this and they don't sing anything and they just stand there for an hour or so or like 10 minutes or so with their hands up, that's transcending from something that's so minimal from just like, oh, hashtag artistic protest. Oh, like, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, hashtag Ferguson. Like, no, it has to go beyond that. You know what I mean? And I think that is a problem with our generation. We think because we retweet something or we share something that's where it is. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I did my part. I read the article and I just shared it with my friends, and they're probably gonna read it. But that's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can read. It takes a real person who believes in something to actually take it out into the world where it's not, where when people don't like you, it's in your face. It's not like on something that you can just close or like put away. You know what I mean? Like, people can't just comment and be like, oh, you're wrong. Like, they're saying it to your face. So when people are out there in the streets, they're transcending those articles, really. That's what it is. And that's what I want for this. Even though it's going to be on the internet, I want to take it further.
Thank you.
No problem. I hope I ever answered you because I just got like,